What's up everyone, it's MrMarvelTV, and in today's video we're going to be giving you the top 10 loadouts you can be running right now on ASHIKA Island. And if you're screenshotting these loadouts, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that noti bell, and hit that like button on the video. We're not going to waste your time, so let's get into it. First, we're going to be covering all the mid to long range loadouts you need to be running right now on ASHIKA Island. The first weapon we're going to cover is the 7.62. You want to run the Seiken Tread 40 with a 0.8 on recoil stabilization and a 0.35 on gun kick control. The FTAC Ripper 56 underbarrel with a 0.8 on recoil stabilization and a 0.22 on aiming idle stability. You want to hit that 40 round mag, and right here behind the camera you want to go with the Demo X2 grip. This will help with that recoil steadiness. You want to put that on a 0.84 and then the aiming idle stability on a 0.45. And then I like going with the AIM OPV4 optic here. This will give you that aim down sight speed, and we're going to tune this to close, and we're going to give you -3 on the aim down sight speed and a plus 1.80 on the close. For our next long range, we're going to go with the Seiken LMG. Now this is strictly for ASHIKA Island. The Seiken has really pretty good mobility for an LMG, and it definitely exceeds the RPK now, and the RAL is really good, but I feel like the RAL is more built for Al Mazrah, the bigger map. So for ASHIKA Island, you definitely want to run the Seiken, and you want to go with the Bruin Silver Series barrel, and you want to run it for recoil steadiness on a 0.35 and then just a 0.04 on damage range. You can even bump it down to a 0.00, completely up to you there. And then we're going to go with the Cronus WL55 underbarrel here. We're going to tune that for a 0.80 recoil stabilization and max out the aiming idle stability here as well. And then we're going to run the FSS Olvi laser. You want to tune that to a -9 on aim down sight speed and a +2.3 on the aim walking steadiness. And then I like the AIM OPV4 optic with just a 0.29 on flinch resistance and then a -1.65 on FAR. And then the high velocity ammo is a must. You want to go with this for recoil smoothness because it has a lot of damage as it is, and a -0.47 on recoil smoothness and a -2.61 on recoil steadiness. For my long range weapon number 3, I'm going to go with the M13. The M13 is an absolute blast to use, so I absolutely recommend using it. Go with the FTAC Castle Comp muzzle here. This helps with recoil stabilization on a 0.77 and then the gun kick control on a 0.35. And then you want to run the Bruin Echelon barrel here with recoil steadiness set to 0.5 and then a 0.4 on the damage range here on the bottom. And then you want to go with the Edge 47 grip here. This helps with recoil stabilization. You want to put that at a 0.8 and then the aiming idle stability at a 0.37, or just max it out. And then I like running, of course, the 60 round mag here, and then we're going to go with the AIM OPV4 sight. We're going to put that at a -106 on the aim down sight speed and a -165 on FAR. Like I said, I love running the M13, so this is an absolute beast when it comes to ASHIKA Island. Then for our number 2 mid to long range AR right here, you want to go with the TAC 56. You want to run the Eclipse 80 muzzle here. You want to tune that for aim down sight speed at a -77 and then a +58 on bullet velocity. And then you want to run the FTAC Ripper 56 for recoil stabilization at a 0.8 and then a 0.32 on aiming idle stability. And then you want to run high velocity ammo. You want to tune that for damage range at a 0.18 and then bullet velocity at a 5.81. Then you want to go with the FSS Combat Grip. This is going to help with that recoil control. You want to put that at a +1 on recoil steadiness and a +2.5 on aiming idle stability. And then for the number 1 overall mid to long range weapon, you want to go with the Hemlock. You want to run the Seiken Tread 40 on the muzzle here for recoil stabilization at a 0.28 and then a 0.27 on gun kick control. And then you want to run the Edge 47 grip for recoil stabilization at a 0.8 and then a 0.3 for aiming idle stability. You want to run the high velocity ammo for a 0.27 on the damage range and a 7.26 on the bullet velocity. And then I like the 45 round mag here with the AIM OPV4 sight that is tuned for aim down sight speed at a -0.97 and then run FAR at a -1.65. So that's it for the long range weapons. Now we'll move to our SMG. For SMG number 5 for me, I've had a lot of fun running the Hurricane this last week, and I just can't get away from it right now. The strafe speed on this thing is absolutely insane, so I'm absolutely loving it. And I've gotten a lot of requests for the Hurricane as well, and saying like the Hurricane's so good, you got to try it. So we tried it, and I'm in love with it. So we're gonna run the FTAC Castle Comp muzzle here, and we're going to tune that for +57 for recoil stabilization and a -0.12. Now, I will say, like, the Hurricane does lack when it comes to, like, super close ranges, like, probably within 5 to 6 meters. But everything after that, the strafe speed really makes up for itself. So you want to go with the the shark fin 90 underbarrel here, you want to tune that for recoil stabilization and negative 40 aim walking speed. And then you want to go with the FSS Olvi laser with a negative 51 aim down sight speed and a negative 50 sprint to fire speed. And then you want to go with the Demo Quick Silver stock here. You want to tune that for a negative 103 on aim down sight speed and a plus 155 aiming idle stability. And then you want to go with the Phantom Grip. This will help with that recoil steadiness on a 0.84 and then a negative 33 on sprint to fire speed. Like I said, this thing is an absolute beast. I'm absolutely loving it. It's not better like than the MP5 or anything, but it is a lot of fun to run, and it's a good change of pace. Next, I have the Vaznev. The Vaznev is a lot of fun to run as well, but it also is very, very good. A little bit better than the Hurricane, I feel like, maybe. Don't know, but I've had a lot more fun running the Hurricane, but I think the Vaznev does beat out the Hurricane by a little bit. We're going to go with the SA Response Barrel. Going to tune this for negative 0.24 aim walking speed and a negative 0.3 aim down sight speed. The FSS Olvi laser here with a negative 21 aim down sight speed and a negative 2.4 on the sprint to fire speed. The Ultrazat stock with a negative 3.10 on the aim down sight speed and a negative 2 on the aim walking speed. And then the TrueTac grip here for a negative 7.4 on the aim down sight speed and a sprint to fire speed of a negative 3.9. And then you want that 45 round mag because it does kind of need it. And for the next two SMGs, honestly, these two have the fastest TTK after 10 meters. So you might want to start looking at these, the MP7 and the P90 or the PDSW. And we're going to go over those right now. But I would start looking into these, start running them. They're a lot of fun. I think they're going to move pretty high up into the meta. I mean, they're already high up in the meta right now, but I think they're going to be the thing to run here pretty soon, come mid-season update. We'll see how it goes and see what they nerf, but these things are an absolute banger right now. For this MP7 or the Vel 46, you want to run the X10 RR40 muzzle. This is a little bit more of a mid to close range build. I use it for sniper support, but honestly, I'd run it. It kills super fast. So run the aim down sight speed at a negative 5.9 here and a +1 on bullet velocity. Then you want to go with the Tango barrel and you want to run that at aim walking speed at a negative 5 and then a negative 40 on aim down sight speed. And then the 7 milliwatt laser here for a negative 3.2 on sprint to fire speed and a negative 36 for aim down sight speed. And then I like the Chrono Mini Pro here for the aim down sight speed at just max it out. And then FAR for a negative 2.25 on the sight here on the bottom. And then for the stock, I like the Assault stock, aim down sight speed at a negative 4, max it out. And aim walking speed at a negative 1.94. And then that's it. The mag is good. You only need about, I think it's 40 rounds for the mag base round. And that's kind of all you need, man. It's really, really good. If you want to switch out something for the mag, you think you need more, I like the sight on it, to be honest, but take off that sight, put a mag on it. That's up to you, man. It's going to be a little slower, but honestly, it still is going to slap. And then for the number 2 SMG right now, I'm going to run the PDSW or the P90 as we know it from Modern Warfare 2019. Now, this is the fastest TTK after 10 meters overall, hands down. Doesn't even come close. But I don't think it's the number 1 overall SMG. I think it's still a little inconsistent compared to what we're about to cover next. But I think the PDSW is a very, very solid option, especially if you're a Fennec user and you're trying to switch over because the Fennec just isn't it anymore. The PDSW is a nice changeover here for you. We're going to run the 7 milliwatt laser. Negative 40 on the sprint to fire speed and a negative 39 or negative 40 on the aim down sight speed. And then the armor piercing ammo right here for the damage range at a +70 and then a bullet velocity of a +9. You can also run the overpressured rounds, completely up to you, but I like the armor piercing, feels a little bit faster. And then I like the Chrono Mini Pro because this honestly the iron sights is just, they're terrible on this gun. But run the aim down sight speed, max that out on the negative 3 and max out the FAR and a negative 2.25 there. And then the hollow extended stock here with the aim down sight speed of negative 2.19. And then the aiming idle stability, just leave that alone and at the bottom. If you are having a little bit more trouble controlling the recoil, maybe you can bump that up a little bit. But honestly, it doesn't affect it too much there. And then we're going to go with the TV TAC Comb. We're going to tune that for a negative 1.9 aim walking speed and a negative 12 on aim down sight speed. And that's it. That's it. The PDSW is a really fun one to run. I highly recommend you run it. If you run it, choose to run it, make sure to leave a comment down below on how you like it, man. I'm loving it right now. It's really fun to run, shoots really fast, very good out at mid range, up to like 30 meters. So it might be even a pretty solid sniper support if you put a barrel on it or something like that. We'll test that out. And then for the number one overall SMG, I gotta go with the MP5 or the Lockman sub. It's still just so consistent, is why I love it so much. It's the most consistent TTK, the most consistent weapon, most consistent recoil that I can find out of the SMGs. I just absolutely love running it. Go with the X10 Razor Comp muzzle here. Leave that alone. You can tune it for recoil stabilization if you want. It just doesn't change it that much. So I would just leave it alone on the left here and run gun control at a 0.23. Go with the Falcon barrel here for aim walking speed at a -2.1 and a +2.6 on damage range. The 7 milliwatt laser here at a -3.1 sprint to fire speed and an aim down sight speed of -26. And then the 40 round mag, and then the Lockman TCG10 grip here. This will really help with that recoil control. And you honestly, this is why I don't run an underbarrel on it, because with that Lockman TCG10, it's going to take care of all that recoil control for you. You don't even need an underbarrel for it. If you want to run an underbarrel for it, maybe take off the actual barrel, but that's up to you. -2.6 on the aim down sight speed here, and a -3.5 for the sprint to fire speed. And that's really all you need, man.